Hi everyone, how you doing? Welcome to this video. I hope you're all well. Now in this video I'm going to be giving you an update on how I'm doing with treating my menopause symptoms and generally kind of giving you an update on my overall health and how I'm doing, what I'm using, because I know I've had a few people ask me after watching a couple of my other videos, which I'll leave a link to up above and I'll leave links to down below so you can also go and check those out. So yeah, so I wanted to give you just a quick update on how I'm doing and what's been happening, and basically I'm doing okay. I'm definitely doing better than I was before. Okay, so I am getting better, but I still feel like it's a little bit slow. I'm just being perfectly honest, and I'm just going to be perfectly transparent because, you know, it's a really difficult season to be in if you have symptoms that are really, you know, you're struggling with and that's making life a little bit difficult for you. So just as a quick little recap for those that don't know, I started my menopause, I would say maybe about 3 years ago. I had no idea what was going on, no idea I was, you know, going into perimenopause. And really it was only when I kind of got to the tail end of, you know, the 12 months of no period, that the symptoms really started to ramp up for me and that they started to get harder. So the perimenopause stage, I could still kind of function. I was still okay. It was on and off. But once the periods really started to go and those estrogen, progesterone levels really started dropping, that's when I really started feeling crap. I'm at a stage now where I am postmenopausal, have been now for I think probably 2 years now, postmenopausal. So in total I've probably been going through the menopause for about 3 years, let's say. But it's been this last year or so that's been the hardest really for me. And I decided that I didn't want to go on the HRT because I always felt like there was maybe something else happening underneath the menopause, right? Because I had a nervous breakdown about 20 years ago, had anxiety and depression. The anxiety caused a big problem for me. I think I was always in that fight or flight mode, yeah? When you're always uptight, nervous, your adrenals are on overload, cortisol levels all over the place, that kind of thing. So I always felt like there is something else going on here that is not just the menopause, and I still feel like that today. So I tried figuring out what was going on, and then it just got to a stage where the symptoms were really quite bad that I decided to try HRT. I tried the patches, but they left like burn marks on my back, so I threw those in a bin, and then I just felt like, no, I just don't want to do HRT at the moment. So I'm not saying that I'm not going to go back to it, I'm just saying at the moment I still feel like there is something else going on, that the menopause is compounding the whole problem. Right, that's how I personally feel, and that's one of the things that I want to kind of get across in this video, that sometimes well, all the time really, I think you really need to check what's happening with your body, and your doctors don't always know, if I'm honest. I think we know that really. They have such a limited amount of time to spend with you when you go for an appointment. It's hard for them to diagnose everything in like 7 minutes. So I had blood tests, I had everything was coming back normal, which is great, praise the Lord, we thank God for that. So everything was coming back normal, which is great, and they couldn't figure out anything wrong, it's menopause, whatever. So I knew that I had to go elsewhere to try and figure this out. And that's what I've been doing over the past year, is really trying to figure it out on my own, but through experts that, you know, may be able to help. So basically I've been working with a doctor in New York, in Brooklyn. She was recommended to me by a friend of mine. And so for the past couple of months, I've been working with her directly, but my friend has been speaking to her indirectly on my behalf for, let's say, the past, I would say maybe about 7 or 8 months. My friend told her what my problem was, and this is what she recommended. So what she recommended in the first instance was the Vitanica Women's Phase 2 supplements. So supports relief for mild to moderate menopause symptoms. And in here you've got dong quai, you've got licorice, you've got burdock root, you've got motherwort, and you've got wild yam root. Now I had tried some of these ingredients that were in here in another product, but they didn't work for me, and I'm thinking it's the wild yam that has helped the most for me with these. So it took me, I would say, about 6 weeks for these to kick in, and she does say that it can take up to 3 months, the same as HRT, for you to start seeing a difference. So you kind of have to persevere. But I've talked about these in another video, so I won't ramble on about this too much. But this product really helped me with the brain issues of like the brain fog, the confusion, the fogginess, all that kind of stuff. This really helped me settle that. And I take 2 of these in the morning and 2 of these in the evening. So that I am still taking now. I started taking this in December, and I am still taking this now. You can get this in the UK. It is more expensive than in the US because it's a US brand. I was in the US a few months back, so I was able to stock up. But you can get this in the UK. So that's the Vitanica Women's Phase 2. And then I said to her, look, I'm still getting hot flashes. So I'm still getting not the night sweats majorly, but just the on and off hot flashes. And so what she actually recommended to me, this is just a brand of Tesco's, but you can use any one you want, was ground flaxseed. So 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed a day was what she recommended to me for the hot flashes. Now I would say within about a week or so, my hot flashes completely went. Now I'm just saying, this is me, this may not work for you, but within about a week my hot flashes went. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. But I will say that they have come back a bit, and I'll get onto that in a second. But it might just be worth you trying it, because we all know ground flaxseed is good for you anyway. It doesn't hurt to have ground flaxseed anyway. So add it to your smoothies, your cereals, whatever you want. But it's something that you could try if you want, because it's not going to hurt you anyway. So those were the 2 things that we were trying for my symptoms, and they were working. But I've noticed that the hot flushes have come back a little bit, nothing major. I can still function. It's not a problem. I never had a huge problem with it anyway. But I've noticed that some of the symptoms are coming back a little bit. And I've done a lot of traveling recently. My energy levels have been low, still struggling with energy. So I'm still struggling with a few things. So we were wondering what else could be going on here. But one of the things that she mentioned for energy that she recommended to me was these 2 products. Now this one, we'll start with this one. This one is licorice solid extract. So it's interesting how licorice seems to have a lot of properties in it to help support you in this season, because it's in the supplement as well. So this licorice solid extract, and also, I'm not sure how you say this, eleuthero, which is, I think if I'm right in saying, it's like a version of Siberian ginseng. So these 2 are kind of like, you drink these, so you add like 1/4 teaspoon into water, mix it up and you drink it. So it's like a kind of tonic type of thing. And again, what I noticed with this was, I bought this when I was in America, and I was jet lagged, I was tired. By the next day, my energy level had gone up. So I kept thinking to myself, what is this woman, how do people not know these things that she's recommending? And I know people do, but you know, obviously it's just as and when you're supposed to meet the right person at the right time. So these two I got from America, so I don't know if you can get them in the UK. I'm not sure. There's probably a version of them somewhere, but this is Wise Woman Herbals, and I'll drop the links to these down below so that you can try and find them if you want to try them. So she also recommended that I up my vitamin C. So I am using Ecological Formulas Vitamin C 1000, and that I up my magnesium levels as well. So I'm on Pure Encapsulations magnesium glycinate. So I'm also taking these, the magnesium in the night time, the vitamin C in the morning. And then on top of that, I've always been taking vitamin B anyway, because I think vitamin B is so important for the body and for energy and things like that. So vitamin B12, I don't know if you remember, I was having the B12 shot, so I have those as well, but I try and keep up with my vitamin B. Vitamin D is another one that I think everybody should be taking anyway, regardless of whatever's happening in your body. Vitamin D is important, especially if you don't live in a sunny climate. So those are kind of like the standard vitamins that I'm taking as well. And so I did a blood test to check my levels, and it's the progesterone that seems to be causing a bit more of a problem for me. So she recommended this Chaste Tree Berry. Again, this is from Vitanica, but there's other brands. She recommended Chaste Tree Berry, which is really good for the hormones, really good for helping your progesterone levels. And I take one of these a day. So those are all the things that she's recommended to me with regards to the menopause. And she also thinks that maybe my adrenals are not functioning properly and my liver is not functioning as well as it should. So, you know, everything that's there is also to try and help the other parts of the body stabilize themselves and function better and become stronger. You know, because like I said to you, I had a breakdown 20 years ago. The adrenals, I think I've never fully recovered from that. So we're trying to strengthen the adrenals and the liver at the same time. But also she said something interesting, because she thought that she was wondering if maybe I have Epstein-Barr virus. And a friend of mine mentioned that to me about 2 or 3 months ago as well. She's like, I wonder if that's what's really causing the problems. And that's why I said to you about trying to find out, you know, is there something else going on as to why your symptoms are as bad as they are? Now, obviously, it could just be, it is the menopause, it is the drop of those levels. But I really want to encourage women to really look at what else is happening with the body. And I thought it was interesting that a couple of people now have said about the Epstein-Barr virus, and I do think I have a trait of the virus in my system already from about 30 years ago. So it wouldn't surprise me if that is what's kind of compounding all the issues at the moment. So my friend, not this doctor, but my friend recommended a book that I purchased that talks about it, and it's this one called Medical Medium by Anthony William. It's a big old thick book, and he's got lots of other books as well, but she said start with this one. And I've been going through this book, and it's really quite interesting, because it doesn't just talk about Epstein-Barr virus, but other things as well: candida, chronic fatigue, autism, Alzheimer's, tinnitus, all sorts of things. But you know, it does mention menopause in there, and saying how some of the symptoms of the menopause are very similar to Epstein-Barr virus and other problems. So not just Epstein-Barr virus. And of course, I'm not a doctor. I don't even know what's wrong with me. So I certainly can't diagnose what's wrong with you. So make sure you seek medical advice. You know, first and foremost, make sure you seek medical advice for your symptoms and for your body, but I'm just sharing with you what is helping me, and I'm just sharing with you my journey, and in the hope that it might help somebody, that it might help somebody. So in this book, it gives you a breakdown of a lot of issues, and it also gives you like an eating plan on how to help those issues. So that's what I'm currently working through at the moment, is the eating plan. And in a nutshell, is basically fruit and veg. So in the morning, you have a lemon and hot water drink, then you have a celery juice, then you have breakfast, which could be like a mixed fruit thing, or it could be like a heavy metal detox type smoothie. And then you have a lunch, which could be like a salad type thing. You can snack in between, and then you have dinner. So everything is mainly fruit and veg, which is how we should be eating anyway, to be honest. It's not rocket science. It is not rocket science. So yeah, I am working my way through that diet at the moment, because one of the other things the doctor asked me to do was an intolerance test, a food intolerance test, which I did. And funnily enough, it looks like I'm very intolerant to cow's milk. It was 96 out of 100. Yeah, crazy. And let me just see what else. Give me a second and I'll tell you what some of the other ones. Here we go. The other ones were cashew was 56 out of 100. Egg yolk, egg white, egg yolk was 49%. Egg white 30, wheat 29, kiwi 28, plums 24, plaice and saltfish 23, goat's milk 18, and then obviously it goes down the list. But the top ones were cow's milk, which is huge, cashew, basically eggs and wheat, and a couple of fruits that I barely eat anyway, so that's fine. So I've literally had to cut out cow's milk completely. So I was having Greek yogurt for breakfast, but I know you can get a coconut version. But because I'm following that eating plan at the moment, I'm having no milk, no nothing, to try and see if the body can, heal itself of whatever else is going on at the moment, which may be what's compounding the menopause symptoms at the same time. You know what I mean? So the doctor recommended a couple of other things for me. One being rhodiola, which is supposed to be good for like energy, improving your mental health capacity, anxiety, stress, your performance. And I just, get a dropper of this, drop it into water and just drink it once a day. And she's also recommended this one, I'm not sure how you say, astragalus, which is also supposed to be good for kind of like the immune system, because one of the things I was noticing was I would start getting a chill. If there was any kind of like wind or cold weather or whatever, I would end up with a little bit of a chill, which I never ever used to get before. So she recommended astragalus, which is good for boosting the immune system, strengthening that, protecting the liver and things like that as well. And then the final thing she recommended is a homeopathic remedy called Nux vomica as well, to also help strengthen the body and the system, and help with some of these symptoms. So as you can see, there's quite a bit there. Taking quite a bit at the moment. All natural, all herbal. Yeah, and I think it's just one of those things where, if the body has been having problems for years, it's not going to take 5 minutes for it to all be better and for it to heal itself and be recovered. It's going to take a while, it's going to take a minute. And I think I get frustrated because I said to her on the last call, shall I just take the HRT? Just take HRT. And she's like, I don't think that will solve the problem. Yes, it might help with your progesterone levels, estrogen a bit, but she said, I think there's other things going on that's not going to solve. So if I can just bear with it and, do the things I know to do to start with, which is eat well, exercise, sleep, strengthen the body through obviously food to start with, but other supplements can help it for now, just to get it back to being optimal again, to see if the symptoms will lessen. Then that's a much better thing to do, because I've never really wanted to rely on medication to be able to help me, because I don't know in the country that you're in, but here in the UK there's been like a shortage of some of the HRT medication. So what do you do when they run out of your medication? Then they're switching you onto other stuff, and then you're going through all of that side effect. Oh no. It just wasn't for me. I'm not saying that it's not good, because I honestly think it is. I think HRT is fantastic. But I just feel like for me, there's something else happening that I have to deal with first, and that no amount of HRT is going to help if I've got Epstein-Barr virus or if I've got an adrenal gland problem. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I know I have rambled on in this video, and I was trying to keep it short and sweet, but I've had a lot of people asking me about what I'm doing, what I'm taking, how I'm feeling, and I'm sitting here smiling now, but obviously honestly every day is a battle. Every day is a battle, especially in the mornings. There's something about the mornings where the system just doesn't settle so well. Maybe because I need to get food into it, I don't know. But you know what? I'm trying to push through. I'm trying to push on. Those that have followed me for a while know that I'm trying to build women's homes around the world. And that's the frustration for me, because I have so much that I need to do, and I have so much that I want to do. And when your body shuts down and is not doing what it's supposed to do, it's so hard, you know. So yeah, I think in this season you have to give yourself grace. You know, you have to learn to balance, do what you can, but rest when you need to, and then find the help and support that you can to get you through this phase, because it is just a phase. It is just a season. This too shall pass. I have to keep telling myself that, because sometimes I forget, and I just get annoyed and frustrated. If you need a HRT, obviously take the HRT, do what's best for you. And I'm never say never, I may well end up on it anyway, but I feel like there's other things that I think my body needs really, first and foremost, to get stronger. So yeah, anyway, I am going to stop rambling. So I hope this video has helped you. If you've got any recommendations, let me know. Leave a link down below. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I say, I'm not a doctor, I'm not medical. Go and see your doctor, go and see your GP. Yeah, if there's anything I can do to help support, then just let me know. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I shall see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.